Thank you for tuning in to Six Pack Cinema. On today's episode, we are talking about the Ballad of Buster Scruggs, the Coen brothers' new movie anthology series. I'm not even sure what it technically is, but thank you for joining, and let's dive into this one.
Dude, you should review movies.
Oh my god, yes.
Okay, I've had a couple, so movie review.
All right, thank you very much. Either you just watched Ballad of Buster Scruggs and you typed it into the podcast app to hear some people talk about it, or you're regular listeners to Six Pack Cinema. Either way, we appreciate you stopping by and listening to us for a while. It's three of us. It's me, Jimmy, John, Dave, Sheehan, Dave. Alternative
like
names.
6 names. No one's gonna know how that's 3 people.
Yeah. So this is different because I remember when we talked about this earlier. I asked you if it was all different stories, and I feel like we did. I
think
remember
we
that?
said they were interconnected because that's what I thought they were gonna be.
Yes, we thought they were like 5 chapters of connection, but it was just short stories.
That was going to come together at the end and just.
No, the theme was the West, the frontier.
Mm-hmm.
But it was 5 different stories or 6? 6. Okay. So the way we do it here on Six Pack Cinema is first we're going to give our gut reaction, and then we're going to dive into it, and then our popcorn score, which is entertainment factor out of 5, and then our critical. But I think we're going to go story by story. It makes too much sense not to do it that way, I think.
I agree.
Yeah, so I don't know what you guys did for your total ratings, and we'll get to them at the end, but I rated each thing individually, and then my overall score will be based on the averages of that.
I got a critical for across the board and popcorns for each.
Yes, that's how I did it. And then I have popcorn for across the board as well. So did you guys know they were not connected?
No, not until the last
one.
The last one, I was still holding out hope.
All right, so before we go into each individual story, do you guys have a favorite? Do you have a favorite and a least favorite? And then maybe people will know where we're coming from when we go break them down?
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Right. What's your favorite?
My favorite was the second to last one, the girl who got rattled.
Okay.
And then my least favorite was the first one, the Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
Oh, okay. So nice old Jimmy and Dave on opposite sides. First one's my favorite. First one's my favorite not by far. My least favorite is the Liam Neeson guy with no arms, no legs.
I agree with that one. The least favorite for sure.
All right, we'll get into it, but I didn't think that was bad.
What's your favorite, Sheehan?
Tom Waits, the panning for gold.
Nice. So we have 3 different favorites.
It was educational, man. How could you not love that?
I like that one. All right. So the first one is Ballad of Buster Scruggs, and this is like the most spaghetti western of them all. It's the Coen brothers ode to silly, slapstick, nonsensical westerns. I thought this was a blast. I really, really enjoyed this as an opening. I thought I can't think of his name right now. I knew it, but I think he did a great job. Guy from Holes, the main guy, obviously.
Yes, Buster Scruggs.
Yeah. So you didn't like this one, Dave? Why?
I didn't not like it. I just think after seeing the whole thing, it is just so tonally different from the rest of it that it stands out as a low point to me. Because if they were all more whimsical, I would have liked each of them being whimsical. But this one was very much jokey, and the rest of them weren't for the most part.
That was a great thing because you started off the movie all light, happy, and great, and as each story progressed, it got darker and darker and darker.
Yeah.
I disagree. I think by the second one, they're much darker. From the second one on. I don't think any of them get darker after that. It's just all dark with one joke.
There was a lot of death in the first one, too, so it was dark in a funny way.
No, they definitely went from comedic to not comedic, level.
Oh, if you didn't laugh out loud with the guy with the pan shot,
yeah.
The pan shot was great.
That's the second one.
It's not that I didn't like it. It's just that it is so different from the rest of them that the tonal whiplash kind of got
I laughed almost every 2 seconds on this first one.
I also hated the ending, so I think that probably I liked it up until he died, and then he's just an angel singing, and I didn't like him being an angel singing.
Oh, yeah, I didn't mind. I thought it was funny. So my favorite part was when he does this whole intro and he's singing, and then they reveal like that he's going into this tiny saloon, like the tiniest saloon. And then he goes into the next bar, and as soon as he puts his guns away and he walks to the poker table, someone stands up and just, well, this was well timed. Sits right down. And then the kicking of the table to make that guy shoot himself in the head was I like it. I loved that so much. And then to start immediately singing, and when they all start joining in, Shirley Joe, I was dying. I was like, this is hilarious.
And he knew nothing of the guy, but he made this whole ballad about him and his backstory and how no one will ever be about how he won't be sad or grumpy anymore. He had no idea who he was.
Where'd he go?
I loved how he only got pissed off when someone called him like a bad name. Like, no, I am the songbird of Texas. I'm not a murderer. And then he'd murder the person.
Yeah. He had so many good lines. When he shot the guy's 5 fingers off and then he was reaching for his other gun, when they made this fella, they forgot to put in the quit.
No, the absolute best line, though, is when he got shot in the head and he said, should have seen that coming.
Well, dude, how good was
right for his friend.
How amazing was the camera work when they did that? He's looking down at his hat, and you see the one bullet hole clean through, so you think, it must have just hit his hat, and then they show the other side of the hat, and there's blood all over it. That was really, really cool camera work.
Well done.
And I'm gonna say throughout all the vignettes, the camera work and cinematography was great.
Yeah,
focal wrecking through the roof.
All right, so what do you give this one popcorn? This Ballad of Buster Scruggs? Because I'm a 5, like a hard 5. I was so entertained.
I gave this one a 3.
I gave it a 4.5. I took off a half popcorn because I didn't know what was going on at first. It kind of took me a while to figure out, like, oh, this is supposed to be whimsical. He's not just a dopey, weird guy.
All right. Yeah, I loved that.
So I docked it like a half one for my confusion for the first 3 minutes. That's it.
All right. Cool.
No, yeah, like I said, I liked it up until the end.
The end was weird, but it was still kind of funny.
Also, I thought it was an interesting choice how he had the wings, but the way he was angled up, he was going like belly up to heaven.
Yeah, it was all wings. Just like very like bad.
Interesting choice. Like that was intentional, obviously, but
like Jimmy said, it's very like slapstick and spaghetti western.
Oh yeah, no,
I mean, the scenery and stuff was so fake. I got down with the whole thing. I thought it was great. And then
wings
I think
were ridiculously small, but it was just awesome.
The second one, Pan Shot with James Franco, is my second favorite. I think they put their 2 best ones, put them 1, 2. I mean, that's what you would do if you were to put them in order.
Well, we'll get to that then. I agree, though. It's also my second favorite. I went back and forth between this and The Girl Who Got Rattled. So
if you don't remember, James Franco goes to rob the bank. The guy's got shotguns by his feet, and you hear him say, like, his legs. He says, what second guy tried to rob his legs got all tangled up. You're like, what? Yeah. His legs? And then you realize right after he's got the guns down there. Pan Shot, that, like, hilarious when you own
Pan Shot. The guy runs out covered in pots and pans as armor.
Yeah. Oh. And then they use that same kind of, like, humor in the fourth one, the one you like, Dave, where you go, dog hole.
Yep.
Yeah, my only complaint for this one, and the reason it's not my favorite, is because I thought it was too short. This one was like 10 minutes, the whole thing.
Yeah, I love that, though. Nice, quick, and easy. No fluff whatsoever.
Some good jokes, though. Like, they're like, so the Indians come.
When they're at the second one, and the guy's crying, and he's like, oh, is this your first time?
Yeah, that was pretty good. Also, when he's now, the rustler saves him. Right, so now he's with the rustler talking about loyalty, and then now he gets convicted of being the rustler, and they go to the judge. He was a thief. And she goes, yeah, good enough, hang him.
Yeah.
I also like when the rustler's trying to shoot him down, and he's swinging. He's like, well, hold still, damn it.
Yeah. That was good, though. I mean, the whole scene of, like, that's just what a scenario they created there, with him being on a horse, with a noose around his neck, and then Indians come and attack, and he's just like watching the whole thing, trying to keep the horse still. Whoever thinks that up, the first time you think up that scene, you're like, that's like striking gold. Like, holy shit, that's
and
hilarious.
also right at the end when they've killed all the people who are going to hang him, and they just stop and scare the horse to fuck with him and run away.
Yeah, that was funny. So at this point, I really liked it. I was like, "Oh, nice! This is awesome."
Yep, it was all high up until that point, and then the next
they're-
one comes
they're-
and
they're-
screeching halt.
Oh yeah, they're too hilarious, funny, like weird. And I was like, all right, whatever, because anthology series, I don't usually like them. Because I'd rather watch just one and then go about my day and watch another. And so if it's episodic, maybe I don't know. The third one, I straight up don't.
Well,
like
hang
this
on.
one.
What are we doing? Popcorn.
Oh, popcorn for the second.
You're right.
5 again for me.
I gave it a 4.
I gave it a 4 as well.
All right, so yeah,
So far we're 5 and a 4.
I was loving these two, and then the third one came, and that was like my girlfriend got up and started doing things.
Wait, how are we at a 5 for the first one?
4, 4.5,
You-
a 5, and a 3. Shit, yeah,
That's not a 5 average.
that's a 4.5.
Yeah, 4.5.
Sorry, try to
So-
sneak one by you.
The third one's called Meal Ticket. It's an orator, armless, legless orator.
Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson drags him around. He tells stories. Eventually, he finds out a chicken makes more money and is probably easier to take care of, so he kills the legless and armless guy.
My big critique in this one is that they tried to show a lot of repetitions and did the same show over and over again, but they went way too far into. I was dozing off by like the 7th time they showed it.
I was so done. I liked the ending. Like I liked the very, very dark humor of it. Like when
I
he
laughed
sees
out
the
loud.
chicken.
Yeah, when he bought the chicken, I was like, all right, like, this one's funny, too.
When he saw the chicken doing math and shit, and you knew his head, and he was thinking, this is easier than taking care of that guy.
Having to feed him and drag him around with him to have bringing this like limbless dummy to have sex with a person by putting him facing the corner. So weird.
Yeah, but here's
But,
the
like,
thing.
in, like, a morbid humor way.
You're supposed to feel bad for the armless and legless guy, but, like, I hated him. I don't know why.
Oh, yeah.
He was. I didn't feel anything for him. He was basically an inanimate object, in my opinion.
I think that's
no.
but when he was in their room and he's having sex, I think you're supposed to feel, like, bad for him. I think my girlfriend felt bad for him. But I just hated this short story the
I
most.
felt bad for him, but in a way, like, the first time you see him being carried, I was like, that would suck nowadays, and imagine back then, I would rather just be killed than be that person.
Well, I don't know. Better home than what he's doing, for sure. When he threw that rock off the bridge, though, I was like, oh, my God.
I was like cackling when he was sitting in the back of the wagon, watching him like, wait, why are you going to pick up the rock? What? Threw it over? You see like his eyes starting like very panicked, like what's going to happen? I know it's going to happen. Please don't let it happen. And he knew he was helpless, and I thought that was hilarious
great,
because I have
too,
a very dark mind.
From him, like, panicking, and then it, like, cuts to them just, like, going down the road again, and then it shows the back, and it's just the chicken.
Yeah, he threw him off the edge.
Yeah, I like this. I like the story, actually. I just hated their execution of it. Like
Yeah,
Sheehan said,
it dragged.
It dragged so much.
So what are you guys giving this one popcorn-wise?
This almost made me pause it and say, I'll come back to the next, like I need a breather. I'm giving this 1. I really, it was like, I didn't like watch. It was a brutal watch. It was so slow and boring. I wasn't entertained.
Mine was a 2 because I laughed at the murder.
Yeah. Just go.
Sorry, I didn't want to cut you off. Yeah, no, I gave this a 4. I really like this one, but for the story, it wasn't as humorous as the others.
All right, let me just do quick calculations here. 1 plus 2 plus 4 divided by 3. That's 27. Nope. 1
Great
plus
math.
2 plus 4 divided by 3. We got 2.5.
That's probably fair.
Yeah. I didn't like that one at all. It was my least favorite. And Liam Neeson didn't even talk. It was like, what are we doing here?
Yeah,
But I
no,
think
what a waste.
he's an actor who's really good at, like, conveying everything physically.
Well, the big names
Everything
didn't talk.
was on his face.
The big names
He
didn't
didn't
talk at
know.
all, really. What's his face in the last one? James Franco didn't say hardly anything.
Had a couple lines here and there.
Yeah, well, Liam Neeson had a couple lines. How much is the chicken?
Pan shot.
Pan.
All right, next up was All Gold Canyon. So if we're talking about themes, which is what they clearly want you to do, the first one is about just like, it's kind of spaghetti western or gunslinger theme if you want to do that. Second is covers justice and how stupid it was and theft and all that. The third one, I don't even know what's the.
I think that was like the era of like snake oil salesmen and people traveling around.
Yeah, I guess traveling.
Trying to, panhandle.
So this fourth one is prospecting and gold and
the gold rush.
And like the land.
Yeah, I really did not like this one for the reason you guys said you hated Meal Ticket. I thought this one was so slow, so boring, and I actually did doze off and have to like rewind it because I was so
probably because you were so like wiped off from the last one, Meal Ticket. You already had dust in your eyes. You fell asleep.
No, that one was. I was literally sitting up, cracking up when it showed the chicken doing math.
No,
this one was beautiful from the start to finish.
Oh, yeah. It was beautiful, 100%. That's where like most of the points I gave this one.
I like this one a lot. It was happier tone, which was cool, and like how he found the gold was interesting. Like John said, you learned it was educational. Also liked like how they're making a point to obviously have all the animals leave, like the humans, and in your brain, I was thinking, oh, is he going to find gold? Because everyone ended unhappy. Is he going to find gold, and then, like by the end, that beautiful scenery is going to be like industrial and gross, you know? Because he brings in a whole company.
Which it not like the whole company. It didn't take it to that extreme, but it was a bit. Like one of the last shots is you see like the countryside, and there's a huge square of dead grass and holes.
Yeah, no, it was.
But all the animals came back.
He left a mark for sure.
But all the animals came back after he was gone. Like I don't think he ruined it for them.
No, he changed it. Didn't ruin it.
I loved it. I loved like the Mr. Pocket stuff. And then the first three, someone dies at the end of all of them. So you're just like, oh, fuck. He worked so hard. He's going to die. And he gets shot. And you're like, fuck this fucking movie. They all end so sad. Come on. That guy deserved to win. And then he does.
I felt it hit my heart when he got shot. I thought he was going to get attacked by the owl. I thought that was going to come back again.
I thought the owl was going to attack the guy that shot him.
Yeah.
Because he put the eggs back, so the owl was now on his side or something, you know?
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm on the same boat as you guys. I was sad when like the happy miner or gold guy got shot, but when he attacked the guy who shot him, my girlfriend was clearly on his side. She was like, "Well, this guy's so stupid. You shoot him multiple times in the back of the head once you shoot him once." She was mad the guy who shot him got killed.
What did he keep calling him? I think I wrote it down.
Something skunk.
Yeah.
Murky skunk or
measly skunk.
Measly skunk.
Measly. Yeah, my notes from this are beautiful land. All the animal leaves. Tom waits, sift for gold. Really don't want a sad ending for this one. Damn it, that's a brutal ending. You measly skunk. The animals came back. He left it decently in good shape. Found a lot of gold, Mr. Pocket.
Yeah, that's another thing. A big point of my liking of it was that they turned the gold into a character.
Yeah.
And I'm going to find you, Mr. Pocket. You're out there. I'm going to get you. And also, I thought, back to education, did you guys know how the panning worked back then? Because my impression was I thought they literally stood in the fucking rivers with a pan and held. And was like maybe sifting, and they got like a speck here and there. I didn't know they were like digging for like rocks and like sifting.
Well, it depends on like where it is. In California, I know they would like sit in the rivers and do it.
Yeah, I thought they like sat there waiting, like catching water and watching specks build up.
No, they dig down into it and then like pull it up in the river. But like they not like next to the river and go wash it off. They'd pull it up from the riverbed.
Yeah, eventually they didn't have like the handles were never like the main tool. They usually they built like the contraptions where the water runs down over it and all that shit.
So yeah, but I thought they had sifters.
I felt more bad for him than the legless, armless dude when he got shot.
Oh yeah.
Like I really cared about
because this guy was happy. The legless, armless dude hated his existence. He probably cheered as he was thrown off that bridge.
Yeah,
probably not.
What are we giving this one?
5.
I gave this a 1.
Oh, you suck, Dave.
I was so bored with this one.
I gave this a 4. We're really on opposite sides. Dave has completely different than us.
Dave, come on, man. This one was beautiful.
It was beautiful, and when I rated it critically, I gave it a ton of points, but I just wasn't that entertained. If I rewatch this movie, I will skip that.
3.5. That is dumb. I don't mean physically like. I I don't mean like the scenery is beautiful because it was, but just like the whole progression of the story and him getting shot, fighting back, coming out on top.
No,
beautiful.
that one was way too long. I think that was the longest one too.
No, this next one, the girl got rattled, has to be the longest one.
So yeah, 3.5 by the way, 3.5 popcorns.
3.5. All right, so the girl who got rattled is a girl. She's on her way to California or Oregon on a wagon train with her brother, who she's going to marry her brother's friend. When they get to the end, her brother dies of a sickness. She's got this dog that's annoying. The people leading the wagon train, she's trying to help them because she's in debt now to pay some wages. This one, I have two things to say.
Sorry, what were you going to say?
The fucking title pissed me off. If the title didn't give away the ending, I would have been much happier. Because as soon as the second attack came, I told my girlfriend she shot herself. Like, she got rattled. So obviously, as soon as he gave
I didn't even think of that.
As soon as he gave her those instructions, like if you sense it's going bad, put one square in your head. I told my girlfriend she's going to get rattled and kill herself because that's what they named the episode. So that pissed me off. I would have much liked it if it was a surprise.
So that's why I'm thankful that I forget names and titles so easily because I didn't remember the name.
Yeah, it completely slipped my mind.
Would have been better if I forgot it because it gave it away.
Absolutely, yeah.
I didn't like this one at all until the Indian scene.
You didn't like her at all?
No, I didn't. This one, I wasn't. It was like blah for me until that Indian attack scene. I really liked that.
Okay. I can see that. I liked it just because I mean, who hasn't played Oregon Trail?
I was going to say, keeping with the themes, this one was actually just straight up a movie version of Oregon Trail.
Yeah, and I just like the fact that this is a good. That's what I imagine cowboys were like. They weren't all assholes. It was like a good, helpful guy. He was there just to help out, and I thought it was kind of weird. He's like, the first person that's available, I'm gonna marry her if she says yes. It was kind of weird.
But I also think that was probably realistic too.
Oh, I think it was 100% realistic, and it just so happened that she was semi-pretty.
Yeah. So I like this one because I felt like this was the most full story and felt the closest to a traditional Western. Like, this one could have easily been expanded to its own full movie.
Yeah.
Whereas I felt none of the others could.
Yeah, that's true. I'd agree with that. I don't know. I really like the Indian attack. When that Indian was riding side saddle and snuck up on him.
Oh, amazing.
That was cool, and I loved when you guys mentioned earlier, but when they were running and kept falling in the prairie dog holes.
Yeah.
It was like, dog hole, dog hole, dog hole.
And he knew they were going to make a second attack. That was cool because that guy didn't talk that much the whole short story, and then he knows everything's coming.
Yeah, they made it known that he's like, well, he knows prairies like the back of his hand. This is his element, and he absolutely was in every sense of it. Mm-hmm. How is he going to tell Billy Knapp? I loved how that was written in the book. Like,
yeah, no idea.
I love that.
He had no idea what words he would tell Billy Knapp.
I love watching these on Netflix because I rewind. Like when that side saddle thing happened, and when in the first one when he kicked the table and the guy made himself shoot himself, I'm like, oh shit, Katie, we gotta go back. I gotta watch it again. That was fucking awesome. And then we were pausing it on the book to read, which never gave that much insight.
No, I just assumed it was the last 3 lines that had anything to do with it. But big question for me though: do you think Billy Knapp actually tried to kill the dog, or he let him go?
Oh, I think he actually tried to kill him.
I think he scared him off. He purposely missed to scare the dog off because he was already kind of crushing on the girl.
The way the shots went, it was like one, and then it was like boom, boom, boom,
boom,
like sporadic. So it seemed like he really tried to kill it once, and then was shooting at a running dog.
In my mind, that was like one thinking the dog would run, but then it just kind of jumped to the side and didn't go anywhere. So he shot a bunch of times to scare it off.
Yeah, it's that's me sounding like, well, I need to make this sound good, so. Oh, panic! Bam, bam, bam! But
could be.
No, because then they said, do you think we should go out and get after it? And he's like, nah, he'll be fine. After just saying that if they did scare him off, he wouldn't be fine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, and I think maybe she was part of it because she was way off. She was way off the grid from the trail with the dog looking at prairie dogs.
They made a point to call that out. She was before the couple times they showed them making camp. She'd always walk in hours later.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know why she was doing that. What an idiot.
So stupid.
All right, what do you guys got for this one? I'm going 3.
I gave this one a 5.
I give this one a 4. So this is a 4.
4.
Nice.
Like I said, once that attack happened, I perked up. But everything before that, I didn't really care for that much.
I also liked, too, because when the Indian flipped up over the horse and whacked him in the head, a lot of times in Westerns, when you see that, the cowboy is just dead from that. And then they get scalped. But I like that this was like kind of realistic, where a guy was just knocked down and then shot the Indian.
No,
Native American.
He knew what he was doing. He knew he was playing dead because he knew exactly what it looked like, and he was getting a tactical advantage. Unfortunately, nobody told the girl that.
Yes.
I really felt terrible when he got up. And he's like, "Oh no!" I felt
me
like,
too.
That
That death probably hit me the most out of any of them in the movie.
See, I would have liked that, but I knew it was coming and pissed me off.
See, but for me, it was like I felt bad for this guy because he was never really like embracing of the relationship of his like partner and her. So now he's like, oh shit! Like now I know how much it feels. He probably thinks I don't care. I really do because this is a terrible way to go. It's like there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just like he doesn't talk much, so his buddy thinks he doesn't care. But
the oh no was like said everything. I was like, oh. Poor bastard.
I didn't think they were going to do another Indian one since they had the Indian attack in the second story.
Yeah. I'm glad they did.
By the way, great timing for us to watch this. You know, the native savages right around Thanksgiving. Good stuff.
Yeah. Shout out Squanto. The last one, man, this last one, the mortal remains, bunch of people in a cabin. I watched this.
Not a cabin.
Carriage. I watched this late at night. And the anthology series was draining on me a little bit by the end. Like I didn't have the brain stipulation to keep like paying close attention. What the fuck was the end of this one?
They all died, and they're just carrying them to the afterlife.
Yeah.
That was what it was?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I was afraid of that.
Yeah. Right.
But
I was really hoping they were going to Fort Logan or whatever. I was like, don't make this stupid. Don't make this stupid. And they made it stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like the very end of it, but the entire carriage part up until they got to the hotel was so fantastic. The trapper just kept rambling and rambling.
The best way to describe it was just crisp dialogue.
It's kind of annoying to me.
I love that.
But see, I think at this point I was getting kind of drained by the format of the movie with the six different things.
Very fair.
Which goes into my overall. Well, we'll do this first. This was like a 2 popcorn for me.
Oh, I gave this a 4.
I give this a 3 because the ending sucked. 3s have it. Cool.
Right.
I feel like you've been in the middle this whole time, Shane.
I've been trying to get it out before you guys, but like you keep putting Leave Me Last, and it just happens to be in the middle.
I like that we're all so wildly different though across all of them.
It shows why it shows that these movies work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
The Coen brothers are who they are because they can do 6 wildly different stories that appeal to different people like this.
Got to think they put their best in the beginning and their worst at the end. Though. Like if you were making,
I disagree with that. You got to end strong. The last thing people remember is the ending, which I think they fucked up with the last one because that wasn't the best one. I think you can start whatever, you can end. The middle can always be like, but the ending has to be the strongest part. Is storytelling like 101.
Yeah. I think it was the ending was the last one was stupid and they shouldn't include it. It was one too many. I think they should shuffle the Tom Waits, the All Gold Canyon, make that the last one, and on a happiest note.
Oh, I would have rated this so much worse overall if that was it. I hated that one.
Well, you're fine. Your opinion, cool.
Right. I like the first one the best, then the second one the second best, then the Gold Old Man the third, the Wagon Train fourth, the sixth one fifth, and the Armless Legless sixth.
I went. What's my order? I did The Girl Who Got Rattled, then the James Franco one, then the last one, and then Ballad of Buster Scruggs, and then the gold one, and then... No, then the amputee one, and then the gold one.
Yeah. Yeah, me, Gold Rush, top, and then the Rattle second, and then kind of like, with both of them, the James Franco and the Buster Scruggs ones were kind of like even for me. And then the last two are just the last two. They didn't do anything for me.
Yeah. All right, so what's your overall popcorn?
Overall popcorn. I'll go first because I don't be in the middle of anybody anymore. I gave it a 3.5.
Okay.
I gave it a 3.5.
Bam!
I gave it a 3.
Look at that.
Oh man, we're all pretty on point there.
And it's tough. It's just the format. Like when I get if I read books and I buy a short story book, I won't read the whole book in one. I'll read a couple stories, then I'll read a different book, then I'll come back. You know what I mean? Because I just feel like it gets it wears on you. It's like, okay. By the end, I was kind of over the whole movie.
Yeah. It was also long. It was over 2 hours long. I feel like you could have made this an hour 30, hour 45.
Why doesn't Netflix make this 6 episodes?
Because the Coen brothers say we want to release it as a movie.
Yeah,
this is their art, man. This is their art.
No, it's cool. I appreciate the format. Like sometimes you have a great story that doesn't need to be stretched for more than 10 minutes. Like the James Franco one was short but quick, and I loved it.
It's perfect.
So
but I wanted more of that one. I would have really rather they cut down the gold one and add to the James Franco.
But they don't have to listen to you, Dave. This is their art.
Yeah, I liked how quick that one happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like by the end of it, I was just like, ha, wow.
That was perfect. It was cut down, no fat. They could have cut out a lot of the Oregon Trail one.
I like that one though.
Yes, the
but
Oregon
again,
Trail
because
one
that felt like the full, a full movie. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look up the length of each of the.
See, once they
segments.
established the quick hitters with those first two, then when they started to drag, I was like, okay, well now you're switching my gears too quick.
Yeah, agree.
Mm-hmm.
What's your critical? Let's go on to our critical scores.
I have mine at 85.
Shit, that's mine.
Yeah.
I have 81.
It's the Coen brothers, so it's really what they're doing technically and acting and all the aspects of filmmaking, the scenery, the cinematography, the tones of each. I thought were it's really well done.
Yeah, I also liked in the James Franco one when the Native Americans attacked, and it's just a portrait view of James Franco, and you see arrows going by him, hitting the people behind him.
Yeah, I like that.
That was great.
That hat shot in the first episode, man, I'm telling you, that's really cool. Whoever thought to do it like that, that was a really cool shot.
I think the table scene, kicking the table, kills me.
Telling you, man, the creativity on the first two, because they were allowed themselves to be absurd.
Mm-hmm.
Like the table kicking, shooting off the 5 fingers. Table kicking is hilarious.
Yes. And also, I did love James Franco being slowly killed by his horse, just kind of eating and forgetting the guy's being hung on his back. That was the slowest death possible. I loved it.
Yeah. And like I said earlier, when he's swinging back and forth and the guy's just sitting there trying to shoot him down.
Hold still, yep.
Table kicking is straight out of cartoon, like Cartoon Network.
Yeah,
that whole
fundamentally
first
just
segment
doesn't
was
make
very,
sense.
like I said, whimsical is the best way I can think to describe it. It felt like a live-action cartoon.
I love
Define
it.
live action.
I'll go back and watch the first one and second one probably a couple times and then just not watch any others.
I'm definitely going to Google the Tom Waits one again.
No, I will watch The Girl Who Got Rattled and the second one, which is spelled near algodones, which I have no idea. Like, the others kind of make sense. I don't get the name of that one.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
All right, so what did we end up with?
84% and 3.5 popcorns.
That sounds
All right.
perfect to me.
Yep.
Yes. What are
Nailed
you
it.
guys going to drink with this if you watch it again?
I'm going to drink an energy drink because, the first two, I'm full of energy, and I'm like, yeah, this is going to be a fun night. And then by the end, I'm like, thank God I drank that energy drink because this is starting to get tiresome.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say whiskey, but whiskey is outlawed.
Yeah,
That's what I
cool.
wrote.
What are they drinking?
Whiskey.
They're
outlaws.
Yeah, I actually did drink a cup of coffee with this in the Gold Canyon one.
Nice.
What do you guys think this got on Rotten Tomatoes?
I'm going to go high, like 89, maybe even 90.
For what? Critical or audience?
Critical. This is critics eat this shit
It's
up.
Coen Brothers. The critics are gonna love it, and it's a new format.
Mm-hmm.
It's if it's below 90, I'll be shocked. It has
But
to.
it
start
is
with 9.
Netflix, so that kind of taints it a little bit in their mind.
No,
probably.
but Coen Brothers praise overrides Netflix bias. If
True.
this doesn't start with a 9, I will be pretty surprised.
So the critical is 92.
Bam.
Okay.
What do you
Good.
guys think this got audience score?
70.
What did we give it? 3 stars, which is
3.5.
around like 75.
74%.
Boom.
Look at us.
And last question of the podcast. What segment do you think Ben Affleck should have been in, and who should he be in that segment?
I think he should have been the guy who shoots Tom Waits in the back. Just feels right.
Yeah. I could see him being the cowboy, or one of the cowboys.
The
in
cowboy
The
that
Girl
took
Who Got
on all the
Rattled.
people. Like I want Ben Affleck in a good role here. Like I want him being the old man that took on all the Indians.
That'd be
Yeah,
nice.
I could see that. I could
That'd be
also
nice.
see him as a rustler who abandoned James Franco. Him just being like, I'm getting the fuck out of here.
I guess I just wanted to fit into my favorite story.
Yeah.
The only other character. Cool.
All right.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you guys for listening. We hope you have a great Thanksgiving. If you're listening to this after Thanksgiving, hope you have a great Christmas and all the days
Or
before
Thanksgiving
Christmas.
next year. I don't know when you're listening.
No.
No.
I hope you have a terrible Thanksgiving in 2020. But
Nice. That too. Okay.
my brain works in baseball seasons,
Jesus Christ.
so like it's already 2019 for real. I've done that a lot now.
That's problematic, man. That's really... Okay.
See you guys. Thanks for listening.
Bye.